Hey everybody, what's up? It is Doug, and I'm here with another one of my theming guides. It seems everybody seems to enjoy these things, and I appreciate all the feedback that I'm getting on them. These are very fun to do. It's fun to talk about some of these buildings. So in more of a bite-sized fashion, it can be easy to get wild in the woods and talk about every single building in a theme, especially for the one I'm about to talk about here. But it's kind of fun to try and keep it focused and keep it limited. I'm doing that by design for a newbie to not overwhelm them, or to somebody who's just not into that theme and is looking to branch out. It's so easy to get overwhelmed that I'm trying to just keep it focused. Today we're talking about one of the most popular themes, the Carnival. And one could even argue it might even be the most popular of all time, because at least with Lemax Spooky Town, every year they release a new piece. Not every theme gets that. And these pieces traditionally, these are sort of flagship pieces every year that come out. They're one of the big ones Lemax releases. Department 56 doesn't do one that often really anymore. There used to be a lot more of them. One of them is going to make the list, but they don't do a lot of them anymore. But Lemax, it's sort of one of the bread and butters that Lemax Spooky Town is built on, is the Carnival. So with that said, I'm going to follow the format I've been doing these videos. I'm going to do one piece that's around currently, and then going to talk about some of the retired pieces that if money's no object, you can get into. Now, here's the thing. Normally, I do a budget piece at the beginning of this. There really aren't any good budget pieces. By budget, I mean around 50 bucks. Carnival pieces that I know of, if you're going to get into the theme. The Carnival pieces are generally bigger. There's a lot of animation, a lot of lighting. Again, they're show pieces, really. And so, therefore, if you're really on a budget, be wary about getting into Carnivals. This, I'd probably argue, is probably the most expensive theme you can get into if you want to get into some of the retired buildings. And even the accessories. Some of the little retired Carnival accessories command a high dollar price on the resale market. But it's a lot of fun. I don't mean to discourage you. Just know what you're getting into if you're going to get into this theme. So with that said, we're going to start with an actual ride that's available now. And because I didn't do a budget one, I'm actually going to pick two, or give two suggestions for rides to start with. The first one, which is my pick, if I had one to get into and to start to theme your Carnival around, it would be the Lemax Web of Terror Ferris wheel. Nothing says Carnival like the Ferris wheel. And the Lemax Web of Terror one that just came out recently here, it is an amazing piece. This is, I'd actually argue, with the Ferris wheels that are out there, even the retired ones, I think this one is the best one because of the light show. I might like the look of the Lemax Wheel of Horror, which came out years ago, and that one is very expensive now on the resale market. But I like the lighting on this one. The LEDs that are within this and the way the spokes of the wheel light up. This looks like something you would really find at the county fair or a permanent one at an amusement park. Now, if a Ferris wheel doesn't quite tickle your fancy and you want something a little different to base your Carnival around, your new scene, another one you could go with that's been available for a couple years now is the Lemax Spooky Town, the Tilt and Hurl. This is a tilt-a-whirl, a pumpkin tilt-a-whirl. It's very cool. It's very big. Great effects on it. When it came out a couple years ago, this was a super popular building. It's been out for a few years now. I don't know how long they're going to do this one. Anything pumpkin-themed is always highly collectible, but this one was a Michaels exclusive a couple years ago. And I would recommend, if you've been wanting one of these, to snag these if you've never got one. But if you're wanting something to base your Carnival around, this is another good choice that's available now. Now, out of those two I just mentioned, again, I go with the Web of Terror because, to me, a Carnival is kind of the classic silhouette and kind of the, heck, there's an emoji, right? There's an emoji of a Ferris wheel. That tells you enough. There's a roller coaster and a Ferris wheel emoji. So those, to me, those are the two iconic rides of a Carnival or an amusement park. And actually, being that a Carnival is something that travels around, where an amusement park is, just normally something that's permanent. The roller coaster is more of the fixture at the amusement park. So the Carnival, the Ferris wheel is actually the trademark item, in my opinion. But a tilt-a-whirl is too. So the pumpkin tilt and hurl is a good one you can go with for that as well. All right, now for some fun, the retired buildings. This is a quagmire you can wade into because there are so many cool Carnival rides. I've got 3 buildings and then a very, very dark horse kind of off the wall thing that I thought it'd be fun to talk about. So let's start out here. My retired choice The first one is actually going to be one that maybe would surprise some of you. It's a Department 56 building. It is the Scream. Now, I have seen this one in person. It's amazing. It's a classic dark ride. This looks very traditional. It doesn't have a bunch of crazy lights or anything like that, but it looks very, very spooky and ominous. It looks very realistic, like what you would find at your carnival. And I've been on dark rides like this before, where it's sort of in like the back of a semi-truck. They can actually be spooky just because you don't know what's in there and how well maintained the equipment is. But I love this. It has a classic Midway feel. And I would argue, out of all the ones that I'm going to talk about, or that I've been talking about here, this building, when it's not running, I think is the most striking, because a lot of the other ones have the amazing lighting and the cool soundtracks and all the, the rigmarole and the bells and whistles. This one is just themed very well. And pricing wise, this one can be better actually in some of the Lemax pieces, because some of these Lemax pieces that I'm going to talk about here, the value is just ridiculous on them, on what they shot up. So I really like the Scream from Department 56. I really regret I did not buy this a few years ago when my local store had one of these. They had a few of them. They couldn't get rid of them, and shame on me for that. All right, the next one here is a Lemax classic one that I've never been able to get my hands on yet for this channel, but I hope to, and I plan on doing that. But it's the Lemax Spooky Town Wild Pumpkins. Nothing is more carnival than bumper cars, and Lemax has done several bumper car rides over the years, but I think Wild Pumpkins is the best. You've got the pumpkin theming, which looks great. Everything on this is actually themed very well and appropriate, and it's got great lighting. And I think that's what makes Wild Pumpkins worth more than, or at least to me, more than some of the most recent ones, like the, the Frankie bumper car piece. Pardon me, I don't have the name of that offhand here. I think this is the best bumper cars that Lemax has done. And the price on it, it's high, but I think it's well done. I really hope to get one of these for this channel here soon. The animation, everything on it's great. I just love the pumpkin theming so much. Of course, this will go great with the pumpkin tilt and hurl, but hey, we're picking one to start with. So yes, Wild Pumpkins would be a fantastic building to have, to theme around with your carnival, because you can do so many pumpkin accessories would work for this too around it. And this would also work on a farm, kind of one of those agritainment kind of pumpkin patch farms. There's a lot you could do with this one. It's a classic. Of course, doing one of these videos, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the classic Lemax Spooky Town Oct-O-Squeeze. This is a building I was lucky enough to get my hands on a couple years ago. It's one of my favorite review videos I've ever done on this channel. And the Oct-O-Squeeze, it's rare. There weren't a ton of them that were produced. There were some paint issues, so some of them were pulled. And then you also have people who improperly shut them down. They need to be powered up and down for the cycle to complete, for the motors to not be burned out. So it's very tough to find one these days that's in mint condition. But what you actually have is this very cool, very creepy, macabre sea-themed piece. I really, really like this piece. So on top of the actual, the collector, mumbo-jumbo nonsense around it, I think it's an amazing piece. I love the Oct-O-Squeeze. It's probably not a good one for a beginner necessarily to start with, but hey, if you've got a bunch of money, or if you happen to just find one, this would be a fantastic piece to start a display around. Just be careful with it. Please power it up and power it down in the piece on the actual switch. Do not use a power strip to just turn this on or off. I'm actually going to do a video on that to explain what I mean by that, because enough people have asked about it. So I'm going to do that here soon. All right, guys, my last choice here is going to be unorthodox. It's something that I haven't gotten yet for the channel, but I absolutely plan to. The glaring thing that's missing in all of Halloween villaging, of course, there is no more iconic of a thrill ride than the roller coaster. It is the icon of the amusement park. And one doesn't exist, at least not yet. So what I would recommend if you're wanting to build a theme park or a carnival, amusement park, whatever, CDX makes the Cyclone. This is a Lego style coaster. It's motorized and everything. I have not got one of these yet, but I absolutely want to do that whenever I finally do a big carnival scene. And so if you buy one of these and build it, then you can add whatever ride you want to it, and boom, instant theme park setup you have there. Again, I have not had one of these or seen one of these in person. I've only been seeing videos, and I've seen them in other displays. You can paint these. You can do other things to theme these appropriately to make it look more Halloweenish. I absolutely plan to get one of those. Let me know down here in the comments what you guys all think. If if there's enough a love for those. Maybe I pick one of those up this year and just do a review of one of those. There are also some Lego roller coasters that are out there, but I think that the Cyclone looks more appropriate from a scale perspective. And I like how it's mimicking an old wooden roller coaster because that makes it look even cooler. Like you'd see probably in a spooky amusement park, at least the vibe that's in my head. All right, guys, hey, those are my thoughts. This was fun to do. Sorry, I got a little bit rambly there, kind of going off on some tangents with pricing and everything. But hey, with the amusement park pieces, you know, carnival pieces, price is part of the discussion because the price of them can just shoot up through the roof. This is a very, very fun theme to do, though. Just know when you're getting into it, if you're a newbie, you can go in a lot of directions with this, which is great, but you can also be overwhelmed. But please look at the comments below because I know everybody's going to type in their favorite carnival rides below. I just wanted to keep this very, very concise. Maybe I'll do a part 2 of this one in the future because there are so many good ones. I didn't even touch fun houses or any of that other kind of stuff. So, all right, with that said, thank you guys very much for watching. I look forward to doing more of these theming guide videos. I've got a few more on tap here. And please let me know in the comments here below. Would you like to see me do that roller coaster? What are your favorite carnival rides out there? Just let me know your thoughts. I always love to read them, and I know that other people do too. So thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you soon.